This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at Biotech Week in San Francisco 2014. I have with me Dr. Karine Kleinhaus from Pluristem Therapeutics, Inc. Publicly traded company symbol is PSTI. It's on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and also on NASDAQ. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. Tell me about Pluristem.
Okay, we're a clinical stage biotechnology company. We take cells from the placenta, and we expand them and modify them to make different cell therapy products. We have our own manufacturing facilities, our own technology for developing the cells. We have a very broad pipeline, and we have a terrific balance sheet. So we're really enjoying this time in our company. We have phase 2 data coming out on the 21st, and it's really an exciting time to be involved with us.
So tell me.
Yes.
Some of the therapies that your cells lead to.
Well, the therapies that we're in four clinical areas of focus. One is cardiovascular. We're looking at two different subsets of a disease called peripheral artery disease. That's caused when cholesterol blocks the blood flow into the legs. And it's a progression. First, you get something called IC, or intermittent claudication. And in that case, it becomes very painful for people to walk because there's not enough oxygen and blood getting to the muscles of their legs. And the other one is called CLI, or clinical limb ischemia, and that's when that disease progresses to the point of necrosis, gangrene, and amputation. So we have completed a very successful phase 1 trial for the more severe form of the disease, and we have an ongoing phase 2 for the earlier phase, the IC phase of the disease.
Let me ask you, what's the size of the market?
For that, the CLI, the second indication, is $12 billion, and the earlier, the IC, is about $6 billion. We're in a couple of other clinical areas right now. We're also in the orthopedic space. That's the study that we're announcing on the 21st of January of this year. And that study was done to look at repair of muscle after damage, after our cells are injected. So,
by the way, I've read about that.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me more about that.
So the way that the study was done, it was done at the Charité Hospital in Berlin. And the way it was done is during a total hip replacement, the muscle is disturbed and cut. And after surgery, one of the many complications that can happen is because the muscle is not properly healed. So our cells were injected. It's a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. And our cells were injected, and we have 6-month outcome on how well the muscle healed. So
That's going to be a sought-after report, I think. But when I looked up Pluristem,
right.
That's what I read about.
It's big news for us, and it's also an entree into the sports medicine market.
Which is how big?
Well, I don't think anyone can actually. It's a very broad. It's muscle injury. We're exploring going into the clinic this year as well for a tendon injury study, rotator cuff. So we're really going to be branching into that space. We have an ongoing trial in pulmonary space that's being run in Australia in an out-licensing agreement with United Therapeutics. And we're also, we've had 2 very successful animal trials, and we're moving into the space for preeclampsia. That's a disease of pregnancy. It's one of the leading killers of pregnant women in the United States, and there's no cure. The only way to stop the progression of the disease is to deliver the baby. But that can happen, preeclampsia can come anytime after 20 weeks. So you can have a baby of 25, 26 weeks that you need to remove. And it's, on a personal level, obviously terrible for the baby. And on a financial, big picture, payer level, it's a fiasco as well.
What's your background?
I'm an obstetrician by training. I practiced. Then I went full-time research, NIH-funded research, and then moved into investor relations. And I have been now working with Pluristem, and it's been a terrific experience.
So is the company located both in the United States and in Tel Aviv, Israel?
The company is actually incorporated in the U.S., in Nevada, but all our factories, our research, everything is done in Israel, except for myself as the New York representative of the company. The U.S. representative of the company.
New York's good enough. And so you go to Israel a lot.
I do, not as often as I might like, but I do get to go several times a year, which is a lovely perk for me.
Okay, now the most important question. For more information and to go to the website, that website is?
www.pluristem, which is PLURISTEM.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Karine Kleinhaus, Pluristem Therapeutics, Inc., publicly traded company. The symbol is PSTI. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at Biotech Week, San Francisco 2014. Dr. Kleinhaus, welcome to SNNLive, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.